Want to thank our sponsor here from Hawkeye of the Storm, Under the Kitchen. Randy Engel has been with us through it all. We appreciate Randy and his awesome artwork down in Des Moines. Check it out if you haven't already done so. Visit Under the Kitchen on Facebook, or you can also visit his new website. It's underthekitchen.square.site. This is a way you can support NIL and the Iowa Athletes. Plus, you're supporting this show and a small business down in Mitchellville. Again, that's underthekitchen.square.site. Thank you to Randy Engel at Under the Kitchen in Mitchellville.
Is there anything that, if you were scouting LSU for Coach Bluder, is there anything that you haven't brought up yet on the show, or even talking to me, that you would say that is a must in preparation for LSU on Monday?
Zone.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if there was anything I would put my 2 cents in, is our zone. If we have not decided, talked about all of those things, I know Bluder, so I'm very confident in that. Mm-hmm. As far as something that she hasn't thought about, whoever Angel Reese is guarding, put her in as many ball screens as you can.
Okay.
Because she does not move well laterally, if anybody's ever noticed. Whenever she is moving laterally and she has to, she has to recover, is when she gets herself in foul troubles. And so if we can get her in as many, go ahead.
I was going to say, she doesn't seem to be the most, I guess I've never thought about the lateral quickness, but she doesn't seem to be the most nimble post in general.
No, not at all. That up, you're right. That is true.
No, she is, whenever she has to move, and if you just have her standing there, she's going to swat your shot. Like, of course. But if you have her moving, she is going to foul you. It's almost 90% chance she's going to foul you. And I would much rather see her on the bench, if I'm going to be honest. So that would be my number one thing, is get her in as many ball screens or as much action as you can. Because my guess is Angel is going to be on Hannah, and Anissa Morrow is going to be on Caitlin.
How do you, because in the last few weeks, if people have noticed this, and you guys have too probably, Flau'jae has really gone next level, and she hasn't looked back. And so that's the big question, because she took the team on her back, especially towards the end of the UCLA game. How do you stop her? Or what would you recommend to try to stop her anyway?
Put Sid on her. Here's the funny part about Flau'jae. She is not quick laterally, but she's shifty, which is why she's able to get past people. But if you were to just put her on the baseline and said run, she's not coming in first, right? But her feet are huge. That's another reason why she's not as fast. If you look at her feet, they're massive. It's like this when she's running. I love Flau'jae. I love her game. I love who she is, what she's about. I'm a big fan of Flau'jae. So I'm happy to see I'm happy to see that she's kind of taking this next step in her sophomore season. But I think putting a little bit of strength on her would be different. That would be my take on it. I think that would help, because again, Sid does a very good job of guarding the ball handler on drives. For me, that's who I would put on her, because she is more of a driver than she is, a 3-point shooter. She's going to shoot threes, off the pass or wide open. Again, she might take some contested threes, but I'll live with that. But yeah, that's who I would put on her. That's who I would bet my money on to limit. Yeah. We're gonna need O'Grady in Monday's game, because of her size. She is gonna have to not be nice, though. I'm gonna need her to get a little bit more of an attitude for Monday. But we're gonna need her. And so I think for her, she just thinks too much. A lot of the times with post players, the reason why they don't develop as quickly is because the game is moving way too fast for them. And so when they get the ball, it's like they don't know what to do with it. Or if they do get it, they're moving too fast. And so for her, just slowing down, taking your time, and not really worrying about the defender, quote unquote. I don't care what she does. As a post player, if you have solid post moves, it don't matter what they're doing. Mm-hmm. You're still going to be able to shoot the basketball. And so a lot of post players get caught up in the defense. And it's like, listen, do your post move, get your feet set, take your time, finish over. You will be fine. It's a lot different when you on a perimeter, when you're trying to beat somebody off the dribble. You ain't got to do all that. Mm-hmm. The backs to the basket and just take your time. But that comes sometimes a little slower with some post players than others. Taylor can be effective in the game if and when LSU has to go zone. Mm-hmm. If and when we are in a zone, it's a possibility that she could be helpful for us because they're not a very good system defensive team. They rely on their athleticism and not on defensive principles. So she's going to be left open. And so if that is the case, she can be beneficial for us. She's just got to be able, she got to rebound. Like everybody got to rebound in the zone. If you cannot rebound, you're going to have to sit on the bench. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing with her this time. I'm not so worried about her defense, quote unquote, because we're going to be in a zone. That's the point, right? You could sag off a little bit. We should be okay. But rebounding, she cannot be in there like a ping pong, getting tossed every which way. So whoever can do that is going to be on the floor.